Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Hazel bringing to you the second game of Lecaf OZ versus OnGameNet Sparkies. By the way, this will be a Protoss v Protoss match between Backho from Lecaf OZ and Chalrenge from OnGameNet. This is actually interesting. We're seeing so many mirror matches, and I think most of the reason behind that is because coaches decide to choose players based on race and not necessarily skill. I'm not saying that Backho or Chalrenge are bad players, but their Protoss v Protoss isn't exactly the best. Backho is 38% against Protoss, and Chalrenge is 43% against Protoss. We do know that Medusa, which is the map that they will be playing on, by the way, Medusa is statistically a good map for Protoss in general in their matchups, such as against Zerg, they are 17-11 in this Pro League season, and against Terran, they're 17-6. So that could explain why so many Protosses have been playing on Medusa. However, this map benefit does not really, this map advantage doesn't really translate well into Protoss v Protoss, because when you're both the same race, you're not going to have any problems with map imbalances. It's going to be more on game sense. It's going to depend more on game sense, micro, general skill level. And both these players are not exactly the best Protoss v Protoss players, as I've said before, so we'll just have to see exactly how these team choices will play out. By the way, Backho is the red Protoss in the 11 o'clock position on Medusa, and Chalrenge will be the yellow Protoss at the 7 o'clock position. Anyway, some of you did mention in your comments that you wanted to know why I chose Hazel as my name, and the reason behind that actually is because I loved this book called Watership Down by Richard Adams when I was younger. It's actually about bunnies. It's from the point of view from rabbits, and it depicts humanity in a startling light as this threatening menace, this inhumane section of humanity. Farmers really are so terrible to bunny rabbits, I have to say. But yeah, it's, imagine as if, just to make a really poor StarCraft analogy right now, it's almost as if you're a Zergling, a poor little Zergling looking up the barrel of a gun of a Marine. Poor Zergling. You know, Zerglings are actually quite cute. Chinese commentators consider Zerglings, I believe, they call them little dogs, and yeah, Zerglings are man's best friend. At least they are my best friend when I go and in someone's base killing their dudes, right? Right, anyway, back to the game. Both players have gone for Pylon and Gateway. They're not going for anything too cheesy. It is Medusa, it is a 3-player map. Early detection is possible. Both players are scouting after that Gateway. And actually, I think Chalrenge has not sent out that scout yet. He is probably just going to try to go for the extra minerals. It's interesting how players, Protoss players, recently have been scouting after Gateway and not Pylon, which seemed to be more popular earlier on. I'm not sure why that is. Perhaps Protoss players just decided that the better economy was worth more than the earlier scout. And there is quite an interesting calendar. I wish I had one of those. Both players, at least Chalrenge, has created a Zealot. He has warped in a Zealot, and we should be seeing a Zealot from, yes, a Zealot from Backho. So basically, both players are trading probes and trading Zealots. Both players are going for that gateway into core. We might see something like Reavers. I'm not sure how these players are with their Reaver play, but we can judge them from this game. And it seems that both players are just chasing each other around, making sure that the scouting probe is dead. That really is important in all StarCraft games. Intelligence is key. And wow, Backho is allowing that Zealot of Chalrenge's to get so many hits off of that Zealot. And there is a mana pylon. There's a mana pylon in Chalrenge's mineral line. Backho is trying to pick off some probes. He does not pick off any probes yet. He needs to do some more damage. He's going to lose the Zealot very soon. It's at half health already, and Chalrenge has 2 Zealots available. Chalrenge is doing a great job of just moving those probes. I'm not sure how effective this Manor Pollen was either. The Dragoon is already out. It will be able to take down that Zealot. Those two Zealots will gang up on that Zealot, and not much will happen. Yeah, so I'm not sure how economically advantageous this was. Chalrenge did have two Zealots. Backho is looking a little sad about that. He is not looking too happy about that Manor Pollen. Perhaps he knows that he only trapped around one probe, I think. He did force Chalrenge's probes to go around the side and around the back to mine, but it shouldn't be that much of an economic disadvantage for Chalrenge. Backho is placing down that extra gateway. We'll probably be seeing some more ground units being pumped out, Zealots and Dragoons. Medusa is actually probably very conducive towards ground pushes because there is no ramp. It's quite easy to go in. There's not that narrow of a choke either. And Chalrenge has snuck a probe into the back of Backho's base. This is possible on Medusa because probes can jump that temple behind your base. Just exploiting some of the game mechanics, just putting a pylon behind you. That is part of the reason why Protoss players are so good on Medusa, why they win so often. Their win record is quite high, and both players are going for robotics facilities. These are nearly mirror builds, although Backho's gateway was a little bit earlier than Chalrenge's. He may have a higher unit advantage when their forces do engage. Chalrenge is going for Dragoon range right now. Both players have around the same number of units, and they don't seem to be very... They seem to just be playing kind of cautiously. Both players, or at least Chalrenge, is going for Observatory, just in case that DTs come. I don't think he had a scout in Backho's base. This could possibly be part of the reason his scout was killed rather early, so DTs would be a possibility. He doesn't know. He's playing in the dark right now. That scouting probe will get denied by Backho. And both players are just playing quite safely. Chalrenge has built those two pylons up on that elevated area to scout out for any probes, and Backho is mining out that area by the temple. So both players are trying to just play cautiously, build up their units. They'll probably engage when they feel good and ready, when the timing is right, but both players are going for very mirror builds. The shuttle is out for Backho. The shuttle probably will be out for Chalrenge as well. Both players are probably going for Reavers. But yes, this will come down to micro, I think, because both builds are quite similar. There is an observer out for Chalrenge. He is able to pick off that scouting probe. I think both players really do want an observer in the other's base. But Backho is posturing right now in front of his base. He takes down probably another probe. He was shooting at something earlier, but the observers didn't really show what exactly. Chalrenge is sending an observer into Backho's base. He'll probably see just kind of what tech he has. He does not see the robotics facility right away, but he probably is expecting it because the robo bay is up. Chalrenge is interestingly enough taking that expansion. Perhaps he does feel safe enough to do that. He does see how many forces that Backho has, and they're about even. So an earlier nexus may translate into more units later on. This may be safe enough for Chalrenge. The observer, in the meantime, critically is following that shuttle of Backho's. It won't be able to do much because the Dragoons will be ready to intercept. But Backho is approaching with his Dragoons. He is going for a frontal attack and a Reaver drop at the same time, but Chalrenge has his own Reavers and his own Dragoons lined up in that nice concave. He probably will have the better positioning. And strangely enough, Backho is going straight for the probes. He's going straight for the probes, and he gets... Oh, that was quite a bad shot, actually. I don't know why he chose to shoot from there. Why did he chose to drop his Reaver there? And the units will be engaging. The Dragoons are